What's up, Negative Nation? Welcome to Negs Live. It is 10:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the beautiful state of Indiana. Welcome. Welcome to the broadcast. It's so super good to see you on this Tuesday morning. I'm going to go ahead and just say it now before we get into the first video. I'm going to get it out of the way. Fucking trigger warning, bro. I never offer trigger warnings, but I would like one before this because, wow.
Cackles like a witch. Here we are. Honey bitch.
Control yourself, bitch.
You will not sit over there and lie on me.
Whoopsie. Didn't mean to push that last one. So sorry to expose you all to that. Hello. Look at me. Did you notice I started right at 7 o'clock? I am so proud of myself. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for gathering early. Thank you for being patient waiting. Yeah. Kaz D, thank you so much for joining memberships. I saw that, girl. Appreciate you. Nikkipedia, thank you for being a member for 31 months. Hold on. There we go. Nikki says, fist deep in paint doing a bar. All right. So I'll be listening, ladies. Much love. And F and FFG. That's right. F and FFG. I'm just gonna take your comment for face value. You're painting a bar. Okay. All right. Thanks for being here, Nikki. Boop Girl, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Shamrock for sure. Nice to see you. Shamrocks for sure. Sis, up in the comments, the first comment says, Sam, you're doing a great job exposing FFG. You deserve a pat on the back. She's nothing but a nasty fraud. Thank you, sis. Appreciate you. Thank you for noticing and appreciating. Brioche, hello. Fifi, I see you too, girl. Sassy Mama, Last Molly, Crazy Cat Lady, Susie Q, Tally 420, Farrah Fiasco, nice to see you. Wicked Crafter, Ami. Oh my God. Did you guys hear? If you haven't heard, you've been under a rock. Finally, the Karen Reed verdict came in this afternoon, and she was not guilty. Not guilty of murder and not guilty of manslaughter, but they did find her guilty of one lesser included charge, the DUI, and she was sentenced immediately to 1 year probation. So that is super exciting. Yeah, that was really nerve-wracking. It's been nerve-wracking waiting on the verdict to come in ever since last Friday. And I think everybody was pretty confident today was going to be the day, and it was the longest morning and hour after lunch ever. And there's some weird crap that went down like an hour or so after lunch. They called everyone back in, and the judge said that the jury said there was a verdict, but then the jury said there wasn't a verdict. So everybody just stay in the building. Like, oh my God, it was wild what we went through today and over the last several days and months with this case. Crazy. Yeah. So hopefully one day, somewhere, somehow, there will be justice for John O'Keefe. But more importantly, in my opinion, I hope that one day there is justice for Karen Reed. And Karen Reed's not the only one who this has happened to, sadly. So don't get me started, I guess is what I'm saying. Just don't get me started. Charlotte Tater Fluff, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Time flies. Great work with that flashlight, Sam. Yeah, indeed. Thank you. Thank you for being a member for 15 months. Very good. Thank you for being a member for 17 months. Mrs. Yaba. That's so funny. Nikki said I wasn't being crude. I sent a pic literally painting the bar. I figured. Hey, AK. Nice to see you. AK, you will be pleased to know that this morning I finally went to the DMV and got my real ID so I can board a plane and travel to Maryland whenever the trial kicks off. So I accomplished that task today. And let me tell you what, I had to take a new picture for my new driver's license, my real ID, and she's skinny. All right. I got a new driver's license back in November. In that picture, I was definitely fat. So that's nice. Can't wait for my new ID to come. Maybe I'll even show you all. I don't know. If you're good, you know, if you're good, kids, maybe I'll show you. You haven't got your real ID, AK? Lord have mercy. Get it done. Moon Goddess Tarot, thank you for being a member for 37 months, girl. Thank you for throwing the hammers. Yes, I will be in Maryland for the Hussey versus AK trial of the century. Kimberlina, you're taking the bus. Hey, Cindy. Nice to see you. Thank you for throwing the swords. Jessica MG. Lily Pad, you're in Maryland too. Lord have mercy. How many Marylandites? Marylanders? Is it Marylanders? Marylandites? I don't know. Lots of folk from the Maryland. Oh my God, Carrie used to live in Maryland. Rachel, hey, thank you so much for the super chat, girl. FFG so mad she didn't go live. She's probably watching. Hi, Bish. Rachel, hey, thank you so much for the super chat. Was she supposed to go live? Does she have a regularly scheduled program? I didn't think she did. Speaking of FFG, so yes, tonight's stream, we're going to be talking about FFG a little, but we're also going to be talking primarily about FFG's new bestie, the liar, felon, thief, damn it, Amber Murphy. Yaba says Chantel is home. Who's not going live? No shit. Why would you be taking the night off the day after Chantel returns and is in Canada, for Christ's sake? Let me guess. You're just so cool and so much better than everybody else. You don't need to go live. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sure your audience of, faithful supporters would have preferred that you did, but who are we to tell you how to handle your business? We're not. Nikki Nichols 95. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Y'all got some really bad weather up your way right now, don't you? We've been watching the Ryan Hall this evening. There's a massive line of severe thunderstorms, tornado outbreaks, everything once again. Oh, yes, Tally. Tally 420 has the answer for us to why French Fried Girl did not go live again during the most exciting time ever in Gore World, and that's because memberships have made her lazy. Thank you, Tally 420, for pointing that out. Ashley says Dirtneck is probably driving around Cornwall looking for foodie. Well, that sure would be, I don't know, weird, huh? Well, hashtag no small portions. Speaking of Francais, and the revelations over the last 24 to 48 hours, not even 48, 24 to 36 hours ish since Chantal has returned live on camera in Canada in her new apartment and telling us all that she's getting a new cat. And she's getting a new cat on Friday. And oh my God, to everybody's horror, Chantal is getting a new cat. And she's very smug about it. And she's basically told everybody on her community tab to eat shit and fuck off. She's getting a new cat, and there's nothing any of you can do about it. AK, nice to see you. Lisa, I've been in and out of the Boston accent all day. I just can't help it. I've been watching so much. Listen, Lisa, don't get me started. There's this TikTok account. Her name's Colleen, and she also lives in Canton, Massachusetts. She calls it Clown Town, and she is all over the Twitter, just lighting those motherfuckers up. And she has the thickest accent. I love it so much. Anyway, Chantal says on her community tab post, in a nutshell, she says, I'm getting another cat, and there is nothing any of you can do about it. And she just might be right. However, is there somebody who maybe could have done something about this, before any of this got out of hand, before Chantal returned to Canada and got her hands on another poor, unsuspecting cat? As you all know, French fried girl, has been slapping this vet report from the BBJ, as she calls it, rescue. All right, when she rescued the abused and neglected cat from Chantel and took her to the vet, and then came back to the internet and reported that the vet said that the cat was abused and neglected, and then she's been slapping this vet report up all over the Twitter and everything else ever since. She just slapped it up there today. And Yaba makes a great point. She says if Chantel was reported properly back when Dirtneck rescued BBJ and took her to the vet and got the report of her abuse and neglect, had Dirtneck reported Chantel wouldn't be back in Canada getting another cat right now. Now, would she? No, she wouldn't. Jojo B, thank you for coming. Hey, Idiot Witch. Fauntleroy. Did you all know that in Ontario, Canada, there are several laws in place to protect animals, focusing on preventing abuse and ensuring humane treatment? The main provincial legislation is the Provincial Animal Welfare Services Act, or the PAWS Act of 2019. Key aspects of the PAWS Act are: the PAWS Act establishes inspection powers and authorities to investigate animal abuse. So, like, what's it called? The animal welfare people or whatever. It sets offenses for causing distress to an animal and for failing to meet basic standards of care. These standards include providing adequate food, water, medical attention, and appropriate living conditions. The Act also outlines requirements for humane euthanasia and safe transportation of animals. Ontario has strong penalties for animal abuse under the PAWS Act, including potential jail time, substantial fines for individuals and corporations, and lifetime bans on animal ownership. So, Dirtneck has been slapping this report from the vet up all over the internet, but that's as far as it went. Why was there never any police report made on Chantel? Why did you not report her many and documented, substantiated violations of the PAWS Act? Barbara, thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. Received my notebook and t-shirt today. Love them. I'm so glad you got them, Barbara. Thank you for your support. So, Dirtneck, why didn't you report her? How come the only place you ever reported Chantel's numerous documented and substantiated violations of the PAWS Act was over here on the internet, on the YouTube? Right, because you were just exploiting the cat for YouTube coin. Exploiting the cat over here on the YouTube to make your money. She never had the ball because she was only worried about the clout and money. Exactly. Tally says, I did not know about those laws, but I've never been accused of animal abuse either. So there's that. No, she never reported Chantal. She went through all the trouble. Hey, look, everybody. Look, internet. I'm over here. I'm saving the cat because, as you know, I am an animal lover. I'm a lover of animals. Look, everybody, I saved the cat. Look, everybody, I took the cat to the vet. Oh my God, look, everybody, look what the vet said. The vet said it was clear abuse and neglect of the cat. Give me money, gimme. Why didn't you take the time to file a report on Chantel to the authorities, report her numerous violations of the PAWS Act, and do your part in ensuring that Chantel receive what she deserves, which is a lifetime ban on the animal ownership? Because you didn't really give a shit about the cat. Shameful, isn't it? How does one go about reporting violations of the PAWS Act in Ontario, Canada? Does anybody know? Is there like a website? Is that where you make the report? Do you go down to your local police station? I don't know. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. Oh, here. Babe, you knew what I was going to ask, didn't you? All right. To report animal neglect in Ontario, call the Ontario Animal Protection Call Center at 1-833-9-ANIMAL. This 24/7 hotline handles reports of animals in distress, abuse, or neglect. They will file an incident ticket and may involve provincial inspectors or local police, depending on the situation. You can also report online through the Ministry of the Solicitor General's website. Oh, so they make it super easy for people who have documented and substantiated evidence of animal abuse and neglect. They make it super easy for you to report that. You can call a phone number, or you can go and report it online on the website for the Ministry of the Solicitor General. And we're Americans, and we were able to easily locate that information on the internet. See, pretty easy. So I'm curious, and Frenchie Dirt Neck has a lot to say. She's definitely watching all of my streams. She's definitely watching Gabba's stream. She's definitely keeping her eyes on her. I'm not even on camera. I feel like you should be able to see me while I'm talking to you. Sorry about that. She's definitely watching our Twitter. She's responding to every word we're saying. So that's good to know, Dirt Neck. So since you're, in the habit present day of responding to everything we're saying about you over here, we will be expecting your response and your explanation for why you did not take the time to dial the 1-833 number or visit the website for the Ministry of whatever it's called. Let me see. The Ministry of the Solicitor General on their website to report to them that you had evidence, documented, substantiated evidence of abuse and neglect. Gooby dumb, gooby hope, bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat, because then she has to explain how she got her. Really? Do you really think that that's the reason why she said, you know what? I'm not going to report this to the authorities, even though I'm going to slap this report up all over the internet and I'm going to use it to solicit money from my viewers on the internet. I don't want the authorities to know how I got this cat. That's crazy, because then that implies that, I don't know, she's aware that she obtained the cat through some sort of fraud, deceit, perhaps even, I don't know, theft by deception. Mon says, nope, wrong. It's anonymous. It's anonymous. She could have remained completely anonymous, you say? Really? She could have just reported, hey, I'm not going to tell you who I am, but this cat belonged to this person. I took it to the vet. This is the report. I don't know. Sorry, Kimberlina, I'm behind. Kimberlina, thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Luna. Happy birthday. No way. Happy birthday, Luna. Girl, where are you? I don't have a birthday song. But happy birthday to Luna. Thank you, Kimberlina. Hold on a second. Okay. Thank you, Kimberlina. Stacy, thank you so much for being a member for 1 month. Where's Luna? There she is. Happy birthday, Luna. How old are you, girl? Reporting the abuse may have been bad for business. I don't see how, right? I don't see how. Stacy, why didn't the vet report? She said, wait, why didn't the vet report? She said the vet was mad. Stacy, I remember her saying that over and over. I also remember, wait, no, because I remember Dirtneck said that she told the vet and the, vet techs, the people working at the vet's office, all about Chantel and how she came about getting the cat. And they were laughing about it. She said that. It's in one of those 2 streams that she did. Maybe the bloop sprint stream, maybe the one after that. I don't remember. But no. So according to Frenchie, the people at this vet's office knew everything. So yeah, but no, the question still remains though. Why didn't the vet report it? You would think if that were the case that it was, this case of animal abuse and neglect and it's all documented. And, Frenchie continues over 2 years later to slap this report up on the internet, yet offers no explanation for why she never reported the abuse and neglect of that animal. I don't know. Do you think she's ever going to address this? Do you think she'll ever answer a question on that? Do you think she's going to take the microphone? We know she's not going to take the camera. Do you think she'll take the microphone and be like, I didn't report the abuse and neglect of BBJ to the authorities because? You think she'll come up with a real good reason for that and tell us all what it was? I don't know. My guess is going to be no, she won't. She's just here's my guess. My guess is Frenchie is never going to address this. She's just going to continue to deflect by talking about, I don't know, child molestation and stuff like that. Because that's what she's doing over on the Twitter. She's just at this point, I guess what? Did you burn through everything you had, Frenchie? Nothing else to say? No more greasy humpbacks or criminal kids. You're back. You circle back around to square one where you started with the child molestation. That's crazy. She is. Don't believe me? I'll show you. Goofy dumb, goofy hope, bitch. Thank you for the super chat. I'm guessing so many people have reported Chantel that anonymous wouldn't cut it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. How many people reported Chantel with actual vet records in their hands to prove and substantiate their claims and allegations of animal abuse? I don't know. Probably not many. Miss Dan, thank you so much for gifting 5 Samantha Dean memberships. By the book, Susan 1964, Catherine the Scott, Emotional Gangster, and Stephanie's JK. Welcome. Thank you so much, Miss Ann. FFG's Lumberjacks Restraining Order. Thank you for being a member for 7 months. I'm pretty sure in the past she said she had done enough when Hater Potato was asking why it wasn't reported and someone else should report it. Oh, that was her answer. That was her official answer when she was getting pressed by Hater Potato. She said she'd done enough and somebody else should report it. I mean, okay. If that's your answer, Frenchie, that's your answer. Good to know. Hey, Bama girl. Hey, Tolan the pilot. Huh. Yeah, that's wild. So, yeah, you guys don't believe me that Frenchie, how long have we been internet slap fighting with Frenchie? What, since February, March? I don't remember. Okay, here's her Twitter. Oh, look, she blocked me. Let's see. 5 hours ago, she's talking about Chantel. Look at her retweeting. What's that girl's name? I forgot. Dell's stupid list. Nobody cares about. That's her stream. Just walked in the house. Oh, she got pissed off here with her people. Okay, look at this. Okay. Yesterday, June 17th, 2025, 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. 5 o'clock in the morning. Franchi says the next timeline should be when Jesse, the child rapist, was arrested until pig bitch hobosexual told everyone to put some respect on his name, or timeline of the calls threatening the kids with bricks to the head up until the unfit mother starts licking Tragic's nuts, which I'm really confused about this one. I mean, I'm confused about all of it, but this one especially because I'm not really sure what Tragic had to do with the bricks to the head threatening phone calls. That was Corey Barnhill, and I mean, I have the police report to prove that. So I'm not really sure why Frenchie is perpetuating that tidbit of misinformation, but she is. Kumquat Manager, thank you so much for gifting 5 Samantha Jean memberships. According to Heather, Darkest Kevin, Somebody's Problem, Chris, Celestial Mystique. Oh, and Who's Your Mama? Welcome. Welcome, new members. Thank you, Kumquat. Why? Yeah, Frenchie, where are you getting this information that Tragic was somehow involved in those phone calls? Because he wasn't. Um, and I guess I have not shared that police report publicly recently. So I guess, I'll give Dirtneck the benefit of the doubt on that one. But here we go. Here's the Sheriff's Department report. Floyd County Sheriff's Department. That's our old address. Harassment. That's me, the complainant. That's my old last name. That's my date of birth. We reported intimidation to Officer Brady, who, by the way, Officer Brady, listen, Floyd County Sheriff's Department. It's a bunch of old Barney Fifes is really what it is. Anyway, report taken January 5th, 2023, occurred between December 22nd, 2022 and January 2nd, 2023. How received telephone when reported. That's my name. Don't wear it out. That's my name. Don't wear it out. This is basically the same thing over again, only this one says harassment up there. Maybe the other one did too. I don't know. Okay, here's the report. Here's the report that Barney Fife took together. Okay, put together. Page 3 of 4. And as you can see, I tried to highlight every time Mr. Barnhill's name was mentioned in the report, but it wasn't working for some reason. Like here, I would try to highlight his name right here, and it was highlighting the whole line. So I said, fuck it. Anyway, here's the report. Again, this is Barney Fife taking the report, trying to explain YouTube and content creators and somebody, using a what is it called? How is it that we unmask? We unmasked the call, the Google number, Barney Fife. He followed along as best he could, and I guess it's okay from this report. This was in his words, the narrative of the report. On January 2nd, 2023, approximately noon, I responded to the Floyd County Police substation in reference to a harassment report. Upon arrival, I was met by Samantha Dallas and her girlfriend, Yaba. Ms. Dallas reported that she's being harassed and threatened by a YouTuber who she identified as Corey Barnhill. Dirtneck, are you listening? Are you looking? Are you watching? Ms. Dallas, that's me. That's what my name used to be. Reported that she is being harassed and threatened by a YouTuber who she identified as Corey Barnhill. Ms. Dallas explained that she is also a YouTuber. Not me. Yeah, but again, Barney Fife. She's also a YouTuber and comments on other YouTube channels. Ms. Dow stated that between the dates of December 29th and December 30th, she has received numerous phone calls from a blocked number. Ms. Dow stated that she was able to use a reverse lookup app, and the blocked number came from Mr. Barnhill's cell phone number. Ms. Dowds provided me with several recorded phone calls and documentation from past harassment from YouTube. Mr. Barnhill currently resides in New Jersey. Ms. Dowds believes that harassment stems from her YouTube channel being more successful than Mr. Barnhill, which not what we said, but okay, Barney 5. I guess he had to put in here a reason for why Mr. Barnhill, who lives in New Jersey, might be harassing two fat lesbians from Floyd County, Indiana. I don't know. Anyway, he goes on to say, I attempted to call the number provided for Mr. Barnhill. However, the call would continually state it failed. The phone calls and documentation were uploaded to the file section of this report. Okay, so are we clear on that? Are we clear? Here's the fucking police report. Do you see Tragic's name in this police report anywhere? No, you don't. So I'm not really sure, why you're saying these things on your Twitter, Dirtneck. All right. And then I found this part also interesting, her calling me pig bitch homosexual. Because wait, I'm not sharing this. Share this tab instead. Okay. This part right here, the pig bitch homosexual. Because pig bitch is what Damn It Amber calls us. I think she calls Yabba pig bitch, and she calls me pig bitch wife or some shit like that. Hold on, I gotta stop my screen sharing and start it over again. But yeah, that is what Frenchie, or I'm sorry, that's what Damn It Amber calls us. Who's Damn It Amber, you say? Oh my God. Okay, so Damn It Amber is Dirtneck's new BFF, right? So this tweet is back in March of 2025. Oh, Lord. March of 2025. Here's Damn It Amber. I told you. She calls us pig bitch and pig wife. Sorry, I got it wrong. Pig bitch and pig wife. Look at that. March 2nd, 2025. There is Damn It Amber calling us pig bitch and pig wife. And here is Dirtneck yesterday at 5:00 in the morning calling us pig bitch and homosexual. I love that for you. Dirtneck, I love that you're bonding with your BFF Damn It Amber, and you're using her language and her information, which is not right. Bunch of lies. Anyway, March 2nd, 2025. Damn It Amber says, I don't like FFG as much as FFG don't like me, but boy, I wish she'd unblock me so I can talk my shit too. Come on. I love making pig bitch and the pig wife rage. Come on, Frenchie. I'm hilarious. Look at Frenchie down here. Eyeball emoji. And Damn It Amber. Eyeball emoji. So that was back in March. Let's see. They've been talking back and forth. Oh, sorry. This is probably what I should have led with. I found this interesting. This was actually tweeted by Frenchie. This was a reply maybe within the last couple of days, within the last day or two. And I cropped it just because she goes on to say a bunch of really mean things to one of our supporters. And there's just no reason to put that on the screen. But it's this last line that I was most interested in going over with you all. You are who you support. And I think it was literally yesterday she said this. She said, you are who you support. So, okay, fine. If you say so, Frenchie, if you are who you support, then, I don't know. What does this make you? And that was back in March. And look at this. March to April, April to May, May to June. Within 3 months, Damn It Amber and Frenchie Dirtneck They're regular friends. Look at that. Damn it, Amber. My dad made shirts that say Pop Pop Stanley Vacation 2025, and I'm so dead. He's a treasure, and I love him. To which Frenchie replies, that's adorable. That's so funny. And you can't say that Frenchie doesn't know who Damn It Amber is. I realize that a lot of you in the chat do not know who Damn It Amber is, and why does Samantha care about Damn It Amber, or that French Fried Girl is friends with Damn It Amber. Damn It Amber is probably has been one of the worst as far as the horrible things that she has said to and about not just me and Yaba, but our family, both of our families. The situation that occurred with the kid's dad, and we don't need to go into all that. You're going to see enough of it. All right. And some screenshots tonight. I don't need to rehash it. You know what I'm talking about. She had a lot to say. And Frenchie knows this. Frenchie knows who Damn It Amber is. Oh, Lord. Did y'all hear that? We got storms rolling through. That was some loud thunder. Sky Fairy, thank you so much for being a member for 31 months. If anyone is a Nazi FFG, it's Amber's husband, dummy. Sky Fairy, thank you so much. We'll get to that. Frenchie knows who Damn It Amber is. Damn It Amber is a high-ranking member of the Grift Gang. She's also chummy over there with the fan fiction fail farmers. I have some screenshots somewhere around here of that sort of thing. But here's Frenchie tweeting at Damn It Amber, telling her, I got my account suspended. You robbed a Wendy's for meth money. Remember that. So Dirtneck knows exactly who Damn It Amber is. And if Dirtneck knows that Damn It Amber potentially, possibly robbed Wendy's for meth money, she heard that over here. She heard it over here because I talked about Damn It Amber a little over a year ago. Miss Ann, thank you so much for being a member for 25 months. Sam giving Karen Reed's team energy with evidence. That's right, girl. You got that right. Thank you so much. Linda, thank you so much for joining memberships. I appreciate you, girl. Forever Basic Betty, you shall be. So yeah, I did a couple streams talking about old Damn It Amber a little over a year ago, because Damn It Amber, I told you guys, has been so vile, right? This was back February 2024. This is me, but I was sharing a screenshot of a tweet where Damn It Amber said Yaba had kids with a junkie who overdosed something. And take note of the date, February 2024. Now, all of that really fucked up shit revolving around the circumstances of the night that Yaba's kid's dad died did not become known publicly until July of 2024. So this was 5 months before anybody on the internet knew anything like that. So at this point in time, the things that people like Damn It Amber and Beg Linda and that wonky-eyed freak of a bastard and what's their name? Dirty Uncle Sal, Forwick. At that time, they weren't saying those things about a pedophile, right? They were just saying these things about Yaba's kid's dad who died, right? So she's over there, Yaba had kids with a junkie. Okay. All right. Unapologetically Val, thank you so much for joining memberships, girl. Forever Basic Betty, you shall be as well. Thank you so much, Val. I appreciate you supporting my channel. Goofy Dumb Goofy Hope Bitch, thank you so much for the super chat. So much for being an anti lone wolf badass, huh, Dirtneck? Yeah, no shit. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Yeah, she said some really fucked up shit. Again, February 2024. This is Damn It Amber saying, "Oh man, do those kids a favor and just let them be orphans. Do those kids a favor and just let them be orphans." That's the shit she was saying in February 2024. Linda, thank you so much for the super sticker, hun. So cute. Thank you for supporting my channel. Can you guys, I don't know if can I make that bigger? I don't know. Anyway, just trust me. That's what it says. Do those kids a favor. Just let them be orphans. Like, why would you say something like that? Oh, here we are again. February 18th, 2024. The Lord took the wrong parent. Those poor kids. All right. I mean, that's... Hold on one second. I have to answer this real quick. Hold on. Sorry about that. That was my daughter-in-law. She texted me and I didn't get back to her. I didn't want to ignore her. Oh, right. So where were we? This is some more of the shit that Damn It Amber does, right? In case anybody's wondering, again, why we care so much about it, Damn It Amber. She posted that DCS investigation report and all kinds of other, look at that, hashtagging our name, our legal names, that name, these words publicly on Twitter. These are the things. Look, this is the shit she's posting. So, that's who Damn It Amber is. And before Dirtneck got her narcissistic ego irreparably damaged back in December on the Keemstar panel, before that happened, Dirtneck wasn't down with this kind of shit. She had a lot to say about this type of shit. Matter of fact, where did that go? Hold on. It should have been in here and it's not. Hold on. I'll have to look for what I'm looking for. Elaine Gray, thank you so much for being a member for 16 months. I'm sorry I made fun of your Mylar balloon theory. Elaine Gray, you're forgiven. It's okay. We can't all be right all the time. Sandy Toes, thank you so much for joining memberships. I appreciate you supporting my channel. Annie with an L, not Annie with a P. Is Damon Amber the one who burgled a house and peed? Thank you for asking that. That's a great question. Yes, she's the one who burgled a house and pissed on the people's rug. Now listen, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Okay, so let's get to it. This is who Damn It Amber is. This is who you might have heard us referring to her as the rug pisser. Damn It Amber's the rug pisser. All right, so here's how it goes. When was it? Hold on. Because I have it right here. Okay, April of 2018. Damn It Amber was 33 years old. All right, Amber Murphy's her name. Oh, that's another thing. Amber Murphy is constantly lying and saying that we doxed her because we had her information on the postcard from the postcard club. But first she was kind of building on this little story and she said, I was a member of the postcard tier and I was a member on the postcard tier for months and months and I never got a postcard and I never got a sticker. Then she says that we doxed her because we had her information from the postcard club, which is totally not true. She got doxed because she is a named witness in the Hussey versus DC lawsuit, and that's her legal name is on the website. It's on the witness list. And DC is the one who went in a Discord and told everybody in the Discord that the Amber Murphy on Hussey's witness list is Damn It Amber. And then that got leaked all over the place. I'm pretty sure it was AK and Alex, that group over there, who exposed the DC told everybody that Amber Murphy was Damn It Amber. So that's how we found out who she was. Convenient that she claims, oh, I never got my post. I was on the postcard tier, but I never got my postcard. Yeah, if you never got your postcard, it's because you never gave us your name and address. Yaba's been doing the postcard club for probably going on 2 years now. I mean, that we get an occasional person in chat that says, I didn't get my postcard last month. And then we ship them a new one out and they get, do you see anybody else? Do you see anybody else claiming that they were a member of the postcard tier for months and months and never got their postcards? And then, oh, just so happens we also doxed them. Bullshit. You were never on the postcard tier. That's why you never got any postcards. We never had your information until DC told everybody that was you on the witness list, ma'am. And it wasn't hard to go from there at all. DC did get reprimanded by the court for that. Yes, she did. That's a part of the court record. All right, so let's talk about it. This is why Damn It Amber's so pissed, because Damn It Amber has what they claim I have, this long rap sheet, this extensive criminal record bullshit, which, by the way, that's another something that that Dirtneck is spreading around, lies that she's been told, and she's repeating them, knowing they're lies. Dirtneck out there saying that I have a rap sheet as long as what? As long as her gunt? I don't know. And I said on the Twitter back to her, I said, post the receipts of my rap sheet, bitch. Slap them down there. I want to see them. Hasn't done it yet. Why? Because she's full of shit. She's full of shit. I don't have a rap sheet. She's a liar. Why are you lying on me, Dirtneck? There's so much you could say, about me, right? That's true and factual. And yet you're resorting to regurgitating and repeating the grift gang lies. I don't know. For some reason, I just expected more, from a Gary Mafia princess and all. Or is it a Montreal Mafia princess? I don't know. Look what I found, though, my gavel. Just in time for court to be in session. That's right. Goodbye, Kyle. We have notebooks. Don't fuck with us. All right. All right. Court's in session. All right. April 2018. Let's see. All right. April 2018. Where's my report? Sorry. Here it is. You guys want to hear it? You want to hear about the burglary and the pissing on the rugs? Flyer 777 FFG is amazing. She really is, girl. She really is. Before we get to this police report, all right, before we get to reading that, I want to put something else up on the screen and I want to share it with you. This one's going to be really small, so you might not be able to see it. I don't know why I can't make it bigger on here. Whatever. Let me share screen one more time. All right, what you're about to read is, these are screenshots of comments that Damn It Amber was making in Jessica Messica's live stream back in February of 2024. Remember, February of 2024, she said, the Lord took the wrong parent, those poor kids. She said, do those kids a favor, just let them be orphans. She said, Yaba had kids with a junkie overdose, blah, blah, blah. And I said, ma'am, Miss Bracewell, because I did make an error. I thought that Amber Murphy's current married name was Bracewell because I'll tell you why. That doesn't matter right now. Well, fine. The deed to her house had the name Bracewell on it. But anyway, I figured out real quick that Bracewell was her maiden name. Murphy was her married name. Anyway, She knows who the fuck I'm talking to. I said, I do not want to hear or see you crying about what happens next. That was on February 18th. Okay. So a couple days later, I do a live stream and I did not have the police report yet. All I had was the court record of her burglary charge. So all we knew is what she was charged with, what she pled guilty to, and what her sentence was, right? So that's where we started. We kind of worked backwards with this case. And so I went live and I said, you guys, Amber Murphy has a criminal record. She pled guilty to burglary and she was sentenced to 10 years probation. And part of the condition of probation for Amber Murphy that was written in here was that, hold on. Oh, she was allowed no contact with the defendant. Specifically, it said, the defendant shall abide by the following additional special conditions. Restitution to be determined with right to hearing within 30 days. No crimes of theft or illegal entry. No illegal driving. No possession of firearms. No contact with Christopher or Susan Taggart. Those were the victims. Wendy's or property. She was permanently banned from ever setting foot on the Wendy's property in Perry, Georgia. It says here in the handwritten circumstances of the plea agreement, it says no contact with Christopher and Susan Taggart. And it says no, like, I don't know. Basically, she cannot be on the property of the Wendy's of Perry. So we were like, okay, well, did she burglarize the Wendy's? And are those two people that were named, were they like the owner of the Wendy's? And that's why the no contact order was for the victims, Christopher and Susan Taggart, and the Wendy's. Like, why is Wendy's in this? So initially we figured, okay, those must be the owners of like a Wendy's franchise. She burgled it, right? So Damn It Amber hears this live stream of mine, and I'm pretty sure it was during that live stream that Jessica Messica went live and she was stream sniping me, and Damn It Amber was in the chat. And she's hearing me, talk about what limited information I have from the court and us, kind of, speculating about why she would be banned from the Wendy's. And these are some of the comments she had to say about it. She says, haha, I didn't rob a Wendy's. It was a burglary charge. There's a whole story about it. Okay. Now, these comments of Damn It Amber's are taken directly from the transcript. And as you can see, it says Damn It Amber. She says, no, there was a safe shortage and a beef between me and another manager. Then she says, I had a knife in my car. Then she says, I didn't even care, to be honest. I had a knife in my car when I tapped the lady in front of me, and I had a joint in my car and my medication in my bag, not in a bottle. That wasn't from the burglary. What she's talking about here is from an arrest a year and a half after the burglary. While she was awaiting trial for the burglary, she got arrested for this. And spoiler, lies. That's not what happened. We've got the police report on that too. Okay, here she is talking about the Wendy's, the burglary charge. She says, I worked at Wendy's. There was a safe shortage. This other manager I worked with and I didn't get along. And it was just a situation I got caught up in. I wasn't the only one. She says, LMAO, I'm literally not ashamed. I know I have a record. I was there the whole time. Sam, you aren't hurting my feelings. I know what I did. Do you? She says, I never pepper sprayed a baby and I owned up to my mess ups. She says again, I owned the things I got myself into. She says, guys, don't worry. I'm really not bothered. At Broccoli Monster, ha ha ha. I didn't bust in there with my guns a-blazing high on crack. Did you or did you not? We'll see. Then she says, she acts like I don't know my own record. I'm totally okay with it. I got myself into some trouble and I own that. She says, I can't reply to people on Twitter, but I've seen a few DM alerts come in. Dude, my feelings aren't hurt. I'm totally able to own the things I got myself into. She says, yeah, I'm in Twitter jail. I said KYS Yaba, and that's what did it. Okay. That's just something else about Wendy's. She says, if you want Wendy's but don't have money, I got you. She said, I'm doing the time. I own the trouble I got into. Then she says it was a knife in my glove box. Spoiler, it wasn't a knife, it was a gun. She says, I'll came up if Yaba does. She says, I don't hide from them either, Sam. I own my fuck ups and I'm working on being a better person. She says, wow, I was even kind enough to censor your daughter's name when I shared that thing about her pepper spraying babies. She says, Sam acts like I haven't talked about the trouble I've been in openly. I don't get it. I'm allowed to go to Wendy's. I just can't go back to that location, she says. She says again, it isn't an own. I know what I got in trouble for. I talk about it openly, she says. And she says it was a short safe at the Wendy's that her and another manager had a beef and there was a shortage in the safe and she just got caught up in it. And here she says, okay, it's okay. I'm really not upset about it. It's a wild story and I talk openly about it when it comes up. Do you? I'll answer any questions people ask me about my fuck ups. Like I'm literally not hiding from it. Then she says, life gets fucky sometimes. And if I can be open about the things I've been through and involved with, maybe someone else can benefit too. I got into a fucked up situation, but that isn't my lifestyle. That's what she says. Okay. So that's what she had to say about things when we still weren't totally sure. All we knew is that she was charged with burglary. She pled guilty to it. She got 10 years probation and she was banned from ever setting foot on the Wendy's in Perry, Georgia, or contacting those two people ever again. That's all we know. We speculated that she robbed the Wendy's and she went with that story. Goofy Hope bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. So she will own her little Kiwi Farms post, no problem. Of course not. She's a big fat liar. Because what damn it, Amber didn't know at the time that she was over there leaning into the I burgled a Wendy's. It was just a short safe. It was a misunderstanding between me and another manager I beef with, and I just got caught up in it. But I own it. I own it. I own it. I own it. She didn't know, I guess, that the police report was on its way, and we read all about it. Lisa says, Sam doesn't just tell you what happened. She shows you the receipts every time. That's why when she tells you something, you can bet your ass it's true. Thank you for that, Lisa. And thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'm not going to come telling you anything about anything unless, of course, I have the whole ass fucking receipt on it. And that's what this is. This is a good story. This is an interesting one. Lisa Simpson, thank you again for the super chat. This is a good one. You guys ready for it? You want to hear the story? You want to hear what Dirt Neck's best friend, Damn It Amber, really did on April 2nd, 2018, April 2nd. Okay, here, this is how it goes. I'm just going to read you the police report. You know, like you guys were going to read the trial appeal on my daughter's charge where you said she pepper sprayed a baby and she didn't, but you never read it because if you read it, it would prove she never pepper sprayed a baby or anyone else for that matter. Right. Okay, let's just read it. All right. On April 2nd, 2018, at approximately 18:41 hours, that would be what, 6:41 p.m. Eastern Standard. I was on duty with the Houston County Sheriff's Office Patrol Division in uniform with my badge displayed, and I was in a marked patrol vehicle. I was dispatched to, there's an address, in reference to a theft complaint. Upon arrival, I made contact with Susan Taggart and Christopher Taggart. Susan stated a friend of hers, Amber Murphy, and how do I know this is not, listen, when the police make these reports, it's they're typing it up to the best of their recollection based on what they remember being said, based on what their note is. Do they get little inconsequential details wrong sometimes? Of course they do. So how do I know that the Taggarts are actually friends of Damn It Amber's parents? Facebook. That's how I know. I did the deep dive. I looked into it. That's how I know that the Taggarts are friends with Damn It Amber's parents from Facebook. Okay, anyway. So Susan stated a friend of their friend's daughter, Amber Murphy, was supposed to go by the house at the above address and look at the paint on the wall to get a matching color. Amber told Susan she would only be at the house a couple of minutes. This is 2018. It wasn't even that long ago. Amber never specified when she would be going by the house. Susan stated when she arrived home at approximately 16:26 hours, so 4:26, she noticed Amber was at the house and was about to leave. Susan stated she seemed to be in a bit of a hurry. Amber stated she was leaving to go get the paint. Amber left the scene and Susan walked into the house. Amber was 33 years old when she did this shit. Susan, listen to this part. Susan, being slightly skeptical of Amber's behavior, walked in the kitchen and looked in her medicine cabinet. She went straight to her medicine cabinet in her kitchen. Susan noticed there were prescribed bottles of Adderall and Xanax missing. As Susan walked to her bedroom, she walked across a mat sitting on the floor that was soaking wet. Susan found that odd and put it in the washing machine. Susan noticed a foul odor of urine coming from the rug. Susan went into the bedroom to put her passport away and noticed the safe in their closet wasn't secured. Susan looked in it after putting away her passport and noticed a gold chain was missing and a black bank bag filled with various coins. Now, how in the hell would Amber Murphy know that her parents' friends kept a safe in their bedroom closet containing gold jewelry and black bank bags filled with various coins? Sky Fairy says meth pee smells horrendous, does it? I do have a rainbow on my neck. This is giving Amber Heard shitting in Johnny Depp's bed. Pissing on the rug like a fucking dog. She pissed on the rug. Yeah, dirt neck. This is your best friend. Hold on. You know what? I should put this on the screen. Thank you for reminding me. One moment. Oh, here we go. And that's his Frenchie's best friend. Damn it, Amber. Yeah, right. And Frenchie knew all about this. For Frenchie to say to Damn It Amber that she robbed a Wendy's because she was on meth, she learned that here over a year ago. Anyway, it says that, okay, there was a bank bag filled with various coins that was missing. Susan called her husband and told him about the incident. Chris arrived at the house and noticed he was missing. It says a 22 LR revolver. What's that? 22 LR. What's that? Long range? I don't know. Excuse me. Pissing on rugs is some world-class crackhead activity. Yeah. Anyway, it says he was also missing a 22 LR revolver and two guitars. Two guitars. Long range. Thank you, Jessica MG. Now, if you know anything about Damn It Amber and her husband, who, by the way, is a raging racist, homophobe, xenophobe, I'm sure you can throw anti-Semite in there. I have no doubt, based on what I've seen just on his Twitter alone, at sent forth5, the number 5, at sent forth5. That's Damn It Amber's husband's Twitter. Mods, if you wouldn't mind linking in the chat. Yikes, it's Mama Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining memberships, girl. Forever Basic Betty, you shall be. Teddy Pig, thank you so much for the super chat. Why did she pee on the rug while trying to rob them? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure she was high as balls. And the reason I'm pretty sure of that is because it says here in the police report that Susan was slightly skeptical of Amber's behavior. So she walked in the kitchen and went straight to the medicine cabinet. Drugs. Thank you, Lisa. At Sent45. I told you that was her husband's Twitter. She had this tab instead. Oh, look at his banner. Guitars. What's that a picture of? Her husband playing a guitar. That's him. This is Damn It, Amber's husband. Hold on. Ah, damn it. Here we go. There's probably a lot on here that would probably get me struck if I spent too much time on it. But that's the link to her husband's Twitter. This is her husband, which, by the way, he's an old man. He is an old man. He's probably 25 years older than Amber. Swear. I'm just saying. Okay, anyway, back to this. So Chris came home and found that he also had a revolver and 2 guitars missing. She stole that too. Lord have mercy. The sun's coming in. It's blinding me. All right. Susan mentioned her neighbors saw what Amber was actually doing and asked that I go talk with them. I went and spoke with one of the neighbors, Joseph. Joseph stated that he came home from school and saw a vehicle that looked like Susan's. Joseph walked to the house and was going to ask. Okay. Joseph walked over to Susan's house and was going to ask for a table that Susan was supposed to give him. Joseph stated he didn't see Susan, so he went back home. Joseph came back outside shortly after and saw a female going in and out of the front door. He also saw her crawling under the garage door that was partially open. That is some messed out crackhead tweaker shit if I've ever heard. Joseph stated he saw the female put items from the house into the car. Joseph then filled out a witness statement. I then went and spoke with the other neighbor, Casey. Casey stated she got home close to 4 o'clock and noticed a tan vehicle in the driveway of Susan's house. Casey stated that the car was full of so much stuff that it covered the inside of the back windshield. Casey went inside her house for a few minutes, then went into her garage to load her son's musical instruments. Casey heard her neighbors say hello to Susan, so she didn't think anything else of the situation. As Casey was leaving her house, she saw a female coming out of Susan's house that wasn't Susan and described her to me. The female was attempting to rearrange the contents of her vehicle. This is broad fucking daylight. This is 4 o'clock in the after fucking noon. The middle of the day. Not only is Damn It Amber burglarizing her parents' friend's house, she's doing it in the middle of the fucking day, in broad daylight, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, with the neighbors all coming home and about. One of the neighbors walked up to the house while Amber was in the act of burglaring it and called out for Susan, the homeowner, looking for a table. How old was she? 33 years old. 33 years old. Let's see. Here, it says right here. Suspect name, Amber Michelle Murphy. It lists her address. It says date of birth. She was born in October of 1984. She was 33 years old in April of 2018. She's also listed as unemployed. Unemployed. It says it on there that she's unemployed. All right. In the middle of the fucking day, Amber, 33 years old, burglarizing your parents' friend's home in the middle of the day. Don't even care that the neighbors are walking up the driveway hollering the homeowner's first name. You didn't care. You still was going underneath the garage door loading shit in the back of your tan-colored vehicle. I wonder what kind of vehicle that was. Let me see. Was it a 2013 Honda Fit? Anyway, all right. Yeah, so the neighbor Casey said she saw the female attempting to rearrange the contents of her vehicle. Casey filled out a witness list. All right, our witness statement. It says, I got Amber's information from Susan and attempted to call her so I could speak with her about the situation. I got no answer on the phone. I then drove to Amber's residence and made contact with her husband, Sean Murphy. Sean stated Amber wasn't home and allowed me to look inside the house. I looked for Amber and also the items that had been stolen from Susan and Chris. I found neither. I thanked Sean for his cooperation and I left. I advised Susan and Chris a report would be generated and they were given a case number. I attached the witness statement to this report. Nothing further to report at this time. The call was recorded on the in-car camera. Oh, there's body camera footage there. Do you guys know that DAMMITAMBER is the person who requested the body camera footage of Yaba's kid's dad's death and then handed it over to the Kiwi Farms where it was then published to include Gina and her kids in their home. Chins Watch the Crime, thank you so much for the super chat. Replay gang, but Dirtneck is embarrassed because her eyes on Chantel were uncovered. Thank you so much, Chins Watch the Crime, for the super chat and for saying that. Yes. Damn it, Amber is the one who requested the body camera footage and then turned that shit over to the Kiwi Farmers. Oh, here we go. You want to see it? You think I'm full of shit? What's that? From Amber Murphy to ISP Public Records, Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. I was instructed to make contact with this email address regarding a request for some body-worn camera footage. That's you, Amber Murphy? That's you. Look at Frenchie. That's adorable. That's adorable. All right, so 33 years old, 5'5", 125 pounds, brown hair, green eyes, Amber Murphy, 33 years old, in the middle of the day, broad daylight, burglarizes her parents' friend's home. So here is a list of everything that was stolen from Amber Murphy's parents' friend's house. 40 20 milligram Adderall. It says it's a blue bottle containing 40 20 milligram Adderall pills. Also an orange prescription bottle containing a quantity of 10 milligram Adderall pills. Also an orange bottle containing an additional 15 pills that were 20 milligram Adderall. So that makes a total of 40, 55 20 milligram Adderall pills, 10 milligram Adderall pills. Also a bottle containing 5 Xanax. 5 Xanax. 33 years old. You're stealing Adderall and Xanax from your parents' friends' kitchen cupboard. How did you know they had Adderall and Xanax up there? Damn it, Amber. Also, she stole money and cash, a black bag full of rare coins. She also stole a black 22 long range 6-shot revolver. Who the fuck is stealing a revolver? Damn it, Amber. Sassy Mama says Pop Pop is what P. Diddy made Cassie call him. What? Really, Sassy Mama? Did not know that. That's weird. Okay, so she stole a gun, a revolver. She also stole a gold chain and a 1935 Gibson guitar and another guitar just listed as an electric guitar. You stole a 1935 Gibson, damn it, Amber. Did you give that shit back? Did you give that shit back? That's what I want to know. All right. The other police report attached to this case reads on Thursday, April 5th. So the initial crime took place, the burglary took place on April 2nd, and she was picked up on her warrant 3 days later, April 5th. On Thursday, April 5th, approximately 1519 hours, Deputy Layson was dispatched to Amber's address in Perry, Georgia. In reference to a suspect with an active warrant, upon arrival, I made contact with criminal investigator Sergeant J. Middlebrooks, who had arrested Amber Murphy handcuffed behind her back. Sergeant Middlebrooks stated he had an arrest warrant for Miss Murphy, which was not yet in GCIC. Sergeant Middlebrooks handed me a hard copy of the warrant, and I took custody of Miss Murphy. Miss Murphy was transported to the Houston County Detention Center and processed for Houston County warrant. All right. So that was April 2018, and she was charged with 1 count of burglary in the first degree. April of 2018. Well, do you think that that scared old Amber Murphy straight? Do you think that she owned her mistakes and was working on making herself a better person? Do you think that was her, oh shit, I really fucked up moment, let me get my life together situation type deal? No, it wasn't, because then a year and a half later, hold on. And when was it? Oh, November 1st of 2019, Amber Murphy was arrested again in Houston County, Georgia. So while she's awaiting trial on burglary in the first degree, she is now 35 years old. She's just turned 35 years old. All right. Awaiting trial on burglary in the first degree, where she's facing like 10 years in prison. Okay. Amber Murphy gets arrested again. These are her charges. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, driving under the influence, possession of marijuana, following too closely, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Remember those screenshots I showed you guys where she was in Jessica Messica's chat and she was saying, I know what I did. I own the things I did. And she was giving excuses and she was saying, oh, it was a short save. I had beef with another manager. That's all it was. And then she makes reference to, she says there was a knife in her glove box. That one right there. She said it was a knife in my glove box. Then she says, I'm doing the time. I own the trouble I got into. But do you really? Because you're lying about it. Look, she says, Sam acts like I don't know my own record. I'm totally okay with it. Then why are you lying about it? Why were you lying about it? Here, she says, I had a knife in my car when I tapped the lady in front of me, and I had a joint in my car and my medication in my bag, not in a bottle. Okay, that's what that was her story. I know you can't see it, but just trust me, right? Well, count one. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, 35 fucking years old, while out on bond for felony burglary in the first degree. Amber Murphy did unlawfully possess a Tizalan, which is a benzo. It's a benzo. It's like Xanax. A Schedule 4 controlled substance in violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. So it wasn't your Adderall that fell out of the bottle in your purse. No, you were illegally in possession of a benzo. And in order to be illegally in possession of the benzo, you could not produce proof that you were prescribed that benzo. So a year and a half after you got arrested for stealing Xanax and Adderall out of your parents' friend's kitchen cabinet, you're arrested again, and again, you're illegally in possession of narcotic controlled substances at the age of 35, which, by the way, she does have a kid. She lost custody of the kid. She lies and says she didn't, but she did. How do I know that? Social media. Her family has her kid. She doesn't. She lies and says she does. She doesn't. That's why she lost her kid. Anyway, count two, driving under the influence. On or about the first day of November 2019, Amber Murphy did drive a 2013 Honda Fit, a moving vehicle, while there was an amount of marijuana present in her blood to the extent that it was less safe for her to drive. So they did a blood test on her. She had enough marijuana in her blood that the law determined it was less safe for her to drive. Count three, on or about the first day of November 2019, Amber Murphy did unlawfully possess less than an ounce of marijuana. Count four, following too closely, on or about the first day of November 2019, Amber Murphy, while driving a 2013 Honda Fit, a motor vehicle on Houston Lake Road, did follow another vehicle, a 2017 Lincoln MKZ, more closely than was reasonable and prudent without having due regard for the speed of such vehicle and traffic upon and the condition of the highway, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. Count five, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Remember, damn it, Amber, and the little screenshot right there, she says, it was a knife in my glove box. No, bitch, you were charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony while on bond awaiting trial for a felony that also included drugs and guns, ma'am, at the age of 35. At the age of 35. At the big age of 35. This is your friend, Frenchie. Right? Because you are who you support, right, Dirtneck? You are who you support, and this most definitely is your friend. Right? You guys aren't even talking about internet gore world. We hate Sam and Yaba shit. No, my dad made shirts. Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. On or about the first day of November 2019, Amber Murphy did unlawfully have within arm's reach of her person a double tap 9mm handgun, a firearm, during the commission of the crime of possession of a Schedule 4 controlled substance, a felony, a crime involving the possession of etizolam, Xanax, a controlled substance as provided in Code Section 16-13-30 of the Official Code of Georgia, contrary to the laws of said state, the good order, peace, and dignity thereof. But Amber, you told the internet it was a knife in your glove box and a joint. And your Adderall fell out of the bottle in the bottom of your purse. And you tapped the lady in front of you. Sounds to me like you were, I don't know, road raging whilst high on illegal narcotics while toting a gun. Checks notes. Within arm's reach of your person, namely a double tap knife. Why were you driving around with marijuana, benzos not prescribed to you, and a double tap 9mm handgun while out on felony bond awaiting trial for burglary, which involved guns and drugs? What were you doing? Do you not have this sense God gave you? Clearly not. Yes, this is Frenchie's new best friend, Damn It Amber. See, they're friends. You see it on the screen. Deja Blue says 2 things I don't drive around with in my purse: my legally prescribed to me Adderall and clonazepam. Thank you, Deja Blue. Who carries their Adderall with them in their purse? You take one in the morning with your birth control pills, honey, if it's prescribed, that is. It wasn't even Adderall. It was a benzo that was not prescribed to her. Fauntleroy says, do they wear friendship bracelets? Okay, so lucky though for Amber Murphy, her dad, I guess, was able to hire legal counsel, and she got her 5 felonies from November of 2019. She got those dismissed. So hold on, let me see. Okay. Yeah, here it says on motion of George H. Hartwig III, District Attorney for the Houston Judicial Circuit, State of Georgia, after examination of the case in open court and before this indictment has been submitted to the jury, the above referenced indictment is hereby dismissed due to, and it says, in consideration of defendant's guilty plea and indictment 2018-C-52864-L. So because she agreed to plead guilty in the burglary in the first degree, the state of Georgia in turn dropped the 5 felonies from 2019. Yes, Streetcar 5. Yeah, they dropped them in order for her to plead guilty to the burglary, in which on what day was this? Hold, please. Surely it's dated August 4th, 2021. August 4th, 2021. Damn It Amber was sentenced to 10 years felony probation for pleading guilty to burglary in the first degree. The final disposition was felony with probation. 10 years felony probation. 2021, bro. Like, that was like, Cutie was in Kuwait by then, was she not? Maybe not. Maybe that was like the middle of Crackhead Olympics. August 2021. That was Crackhead Olympics. So during the height of the Crackhead Olympics, old Damn It Amber was down there in Georgia taking plea deals on felonies involving residential burglary, drugs, and guns. And you want to call me a criminal? Either one of you. This is your friend, Frenchie. You know, you are who you support, after all. you know. Only probation is wild. She got lucky on that. Yeah, her dad is like career military situation type deal. So I think that had a lot to do with it. You think that's bad though. Her husband is even worse. This radical. I can't really even show the examples of the shit that we found on her husband's Twitter because I would probably get a strike from YouTube. I can't even show it. That's how bad it is. And look, old dirt neck over there is seriously spurging out about it too. She's really hot and bothered. Look, she's back to talking about her favorite subject. There's one there. I love that she's picked up Damn It Amber's verbiage calling us pig bitch and homosexual. Look at this. Look at here she is tagging her friend. Tagging her friend, Damn It Amber. Oh, because look, this is what Damn It Amber says. But if I was on drugs, all I need is to be a pedophile too, and I'd be Corey's type. And look, that is Dirtneck retweeting it. Come on, bloop, bloop. Oh, you're so funny. Is that what you've had to resort to, Dirtneck? This is what you've had to resort to circling back around to. I love that for you. I mean, after all, Frenchie, you are who you support, are you not? I just wanted to share this picture too. This image, well, I feel like this is a, how do I say it? Like a representation of what we mean when we say we're not the same. You know, you got Frenchie over here literally rubbing elbows and shoulders with a fucking Chantel. And then you have my wife over here sipping coffee with me off to the side, talking shit on both of y'all fucking weirdos. This weird bitch, she said something about a picture of me that I took in the bedroom standing right behind me. She said some shit like, I can smell that picture. Bitch, I can smell this picture. I really can't even say anything else about it. I'm starting to feel nauseous. Yes, FFG started out a Beezer. That's right, Fauntleroy. Yaba is the daughter that Smee never had. Stale cigarettes and dirty pussy. Rachel Hay. Stale cigarettes and dirty pussy. That's all I smell coming from that picture right there. Fucking freak. All right, let me just bop through and see if there's anything I missed. I should probably stop sharing. What's this? Oh, you did send me a picture. Oh, that's nice. Oh, you're literally painting the bar, Nikki. Gotcha. I don't know. It seems to me like, now that we know a little bit about Frenchie's history with her scamming and defrauding landlords, elderly, disabled landlords, and whatnot. And now we see the kind of riffraff that she's making friends with on the internet. Who's taking this woman seriously at this point? I'd like to know. Hey, Fifi48, should you go back to the beginning? And you should definitely go back to the beginning and catch up on account of probably gonna wrap it up. That was pretty much all I had. I just wanted to introduce you guys. Oh, There was another police report that had Damn and Amber's name in it from February of 2018, which is 2 months before the burglary. And it was her name is in the report because she was a witness or a complainant. There was some guy walking in her neighborhood, and Amber didn't call the police. A different neighbor called the police. But what I found funny was Amber's part of it. Okay. So it says the complainants were identified as 33-year-old Amber Murphy, who resides at blah, 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 and 37-year-old Shatasha Mitchell. When asked about what happened, this is what Amber Murphy said. Amber Murphy's statement was Murphy advised she was outside in the yard when Fairchild, who was the suspect, so this person, last name Fairchild, this Shatasha Mitchell called the police because this Fairchild dude, I think his name was Dustin, 30 years old, was walking around the neighborhood, and I guess they felt that he was suspicious. Addicted to cold brew. Thank you so much for being a member for 19 months, hon. I was saving this for something witty. I got nada. Thank you for being a member. Okay, so Murphy says, Amber Murphy, damn it, Amber says she was outside in the yard when Dustin Fairchild approached her asking if he could have some invisible speakers that were located in her bushes. Amber stated she was curious as to what Fairchild was saying. She said he proceeded down her driveway where he entered into her garage and began engaging her in outrageous conversation. Murphy advised she was fearful for her safety due to her husband being at work and told Fairchild to leave the property. She was curious, though. I think it's of my opinion that Amber Murphy's husband was at work and that this Fairchild person, who it says later in the police report that Mitchell and her, or that, yeah, that Amber Murphy and the other neighbor reiterated that they believe Fairchild to be on drugs with the way he was acting and speaking. I think the meth head was at Amber's house, not to ask her if he could have some speakers that were in the bushes. He was at her house for meth related business. And I think the neighbor, Shatasha, called the police because by Amber's own account in this report, she was interacting with Fairchild in the driveway. And when the neighbor called the police, she's, oh, I don't even know this person. I just happened to be outside and he approached me and wanted to buy these speakers. And he just walked down the driveway. No, you were buying drugs from him in your garage, and the neighbor called the police and you lied. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. That was just 2 months before she was arrested for burglarizing her parents' friend's house and stealing prescription medication out of their kitchen cupboard. So I'm sorry, what just so happens that just some random meth head shows up in your driveway 2 months before you get arrested for burglarizing your parents' friend's house in the middle of the day and stealing drugs, guns, and money. I highly doubt it. And you pissed on their rug. You pissed on the rug. You did. It says it in the report. It said Susan went inside the house. She noticed that the rug was soaking wet. She put it in the laundry and noticed that there was a strong foul odor of urine coming from the fucking rug. And she pissed on the rug. Mon says, my theory is that FFG is also a crackhead. How she's smoking that much weed yet has so much energy. Good question. I can't believe it says Sam's Boston accent sucks. Let me up. I will not let you up on my panel and you say my Boston accent sucks. Alex says, so you're saying she has a bladder infection too. I don't know. Vitamin water. Why the rug? It tied the whole room together. I love that show. Sam becomes a Bostonian, and then I feel like she needs big hair and some nails. We were supposed to get our nails done today, but we didn't get that done. I guess we're going to go Friday. And yet they will all make excuses for her. It's insanity. Yeah. And like they were literally going around patting her ass and giving her all these praises and props for owning her shit. And then come to find out she was just lying. You're a liar, Amber Murphy. And so is French Fried Girl. And that's really all I have to say about it. Did y'all hear? Quirky Love Rose finally got fired from her work from home customer service job. And now she's talking mad shit on the company she was working for. Says she's going to report them. She says it's a utility company from up somewhere in the northern part of the country. And that the things they're doing have got to be criminal, got to be illegal. And she's looking into reporting them. Got fired from her work from home job. She said her mom was helping her get her doctor's notes together, but that they fired her before she could get her doctor's notes together. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But she also said that it's fine because she doesn't really have to worry about paying bills for right now. And what did I tell you guys? Remember I told you guys her parents were coming home from Norway for like a month. And I said that was the worst thing that could happen to her right now because when her parents come home for that month, she's going to just like feel like she doesn't have to work or pay any bills or anything. What I tell you. She got fired and said it's fine because she doesn't have to worry about paying bills right now because her parents are at home paying the bills. Shameful. How can you? She called into work one day and then she literally goes live from the pool, floating around the pool, talking about how she was so debilitated by her anxiety and her PTSD that she couldn't punch in for her work from home customer service job, but she was floating around the pool doing a live stream. And she like kept forgetting that she was supposed to be like suffering from debilitating anxiety. And she would remember and be like, oh God, the anxiety is so bad. And then she would float around the pool some more. Her dad made her a 5-pound steak the first night. That first night they were home was so annoying. She needs to keep her dad off her live stream. I don't want to hear from her dad. No offense, bro, but I'm just not interested. That's my heating pad for my foot. I got nerve damage in my back that affects my foot. So like I have to like heat my foot. It's a whole thing. It's horrible. I know. I want to float around a pool too. Sam, did you see her ripping apart that chicken with her big, bad, bare hands? I saw it all. I actually wanted to watch that with you guys. I wanted to watch that stream where she insisted on making the chicken salad, even though her mom like kept like, basically saying like, okay, you can make your chicken salad the way you like it, but I want to make the chicken salad me and your dad are going to eat because your dad likes it a certain way. And she fucking insisted on making the chicken salad herself. Like, just let your mom make the fucking chicken salad for her and her dad. Like, why do you insist? She's like, no, I'll make it. And then meanwhile, like all the ingredients that her mom is saying that her dad likes in the chicken salad, Rosie's like, oh no, I don't like that. Miracle Whip, no. Like, bitch. Kimberlina, I still haven't gotten over the chicken salad incident. Like, it was wild. Fauntleroy, you don't like chicken salad? Who doesn't like chicken salad? There are students who use mental health conditions to abuse the disability accommodation system. I fully support accommodations, but it's not there to not have to learn anything, right? Addicted to cold brew, don't lie. You got the diabetic neuropathy like cutie. I wish, because that could probably be fixed. I don't think I can fix this. It's possible. I'm not exactly a pro at drug addict identification. Well, Bunny Melon, that's what she ended up doing. She ended up semi-relenting and she split the chicken in two, but she still insisted on making the chicken salad her mom and dad were going to eat. Like, why didn't you just freaking let your mom make the chicken salad? Chantel's live again. I just want to peek in. Is that okay with you guys? Oh, diabetic neuropathy can't be fixed. Well, I don't have diabetes and I don't have neuropathy, but I do have nerve damage. And it really fucks with my feet. But like if I like literally like put my foot on the heating pad, it'll feel better.
You know what I mean?
Is she raging? Okay, she is definitely showing more of the apartment behind her. I feel like this door is open, and you guys, now I'm starting to wonder. I don't think this is like a traditional apartment like we're thinking. I think this might be like a house that maybe got divided into some apartments. Look, because and I heard somebody say something about this. These old ass like clear doorknobs, and then also look here. Do you guys see here like that door is damaged? Like the plate on the door, you can see it's like missing. And it also looks like it's almost like the wood is damaged right there. And then look at this hook that's on the back of the door. That's been painted over like a bajillion times. I don't think she's in a regular apartment. You think it's a fourplex? See, look, I told you, look at it. Look, like the whole, what is that called? You have doorknobs like that from the 80s. I think that's like from the 50s, 60s, 70s. Look at that. Like, you're not going to tell me an apartment complex rented her out this unit and the door looks like that. Assisted living. It's a sublet, you think, Kimberlina? So, what do you mean by sublet? Do you mean, oh, she showed her kitchen today? It's an old house split up. Oh my God. Is it really? So it's like a boarding house like dishwasher was living in. She's in like a boarding house like a dishwasher. That's why she had to be quiet. Remember when she first went live yesterday, the first time, she wasn't into it, wasn't too far in. And she was like, oh, I have to be quiet because I don't. And then she tried to play it off and she's like, I don't know if the walls are thin here or whatever. No, it's because she is renting a fucking room. Oh my God, she is renting a room. She's living like a college student. She finally gets to experience college. Yeah, I think it's like what Dishwasher lived in. She lives in Pete's rental. Okay, hold on. I want to go. You said she showed the kitchen earlier. I did not see that, but I sure would like to. Moving Mayhem. Okay, it would be in this one. Oh, she's only live for 53 minutes, huh?
I'm hyper here.
I haven't seen any of this yet. I just want to see the kid. Look at that. Look at that creature. Where's the kitchen? Show me. That. Oh God. She should. Why couldn't she just leave the door closed? I don't see the kitchen. When did she show it? Oh, is that it? Oh, I did see part of that. Yeah, because I remember seeing. Look, those cabinets are filthy. Hold on, wait. Yes, it's like a boarding house with a kitchenette with a living space. It's an old-time war house, we call them here, built in the 50s for immigrants coming over after war. That's why she has a community washer and dryer. This is a level below a studio apartment. Oh, Spiteful Lynn, thank you so much for being a member for 31 months. Luna, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Old house converted into 2 apartments. Holy crap. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that still. Did she show the whole kitchen? Her own kitchen and a shared bath? Street Carb says she is broke. You have these types of apartments in Philly. Look at her showing her bidet again. Okay. Holy shit. Hold on, I gotta screenshot this and send it to Yaba. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at the switch plate cover on the electrical plate. Old, dingy, filthy. Look how dirty the underneath. Do you guys see how dirty the underneath of the cabinets are? Holy shit. Look how dirty it is. How nasty. Lord have mercy. Look at that one. Look at that still. Okay. I cannot wait to watch this. Oh, look, there's the door. Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
I can put like a table, and then there's a cloth.
Look at it. Look at the holes in the walls. Look at that door handle's about to fall off.
Okay, hold on. I'll show you a bit here.
Okay, hold on. Oh my god. I really want to see it. Okay.
I have to open it. Okay, hold on. I'll show you a bit here.
So it really is just a little kitchenette. It's a dump. Babe, are you seeing this? Are you watching? The pig in her sty. Look at that. Oh my, this is wow. This is worse than where Dishwasher was living.
Yeah, so there's a huge space here. I can put like a table, and then there's a
Look at the holes in the walls. Look at the door handle. That thing's just been painted over.
closet. Put stuff. That's a ceiling.
Did she go off camera right then for a reason? I cannot believe I wouldn't have shown any of that over my dead body. I told Yaba, I said if I was her, I would set myself up with my background being a solid wall. Like all you will ever see is nothing but a wall behind me, but not that dumb fuck. She's gonna help herself. She had to show it all, didn't she? Yeah, that's great. Those buttons are gonna poke her eye out. Wow. All right. Well, anyway, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for being here. Was that fun for you guys? Did we get to know Frenchie's new best friend, Damn It, Amber? Don't forget, Frenchie said you are who you support. So anyway, thank you for being here. What is today? Wednesday? I'm not sure when I'll see you guys again, but hopefully soon. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.